The Galactic Council Hall floated in deep space, orbiting a calm blue star. Inside the great dome, light shimmered off the polished metal walls, and the sound of whispered alien voices filled the room. Leaders from 50 different species sat in their seats, some tall and thin, others short and covered in fur or scales. It was a historic day. A peace treaty was about to be signed after centuries of war, betrayal, and death. For the first time, the galaxy seemed ready to rest. But one seat remained empty. That seat belonged to Earth. The other delegates exchanged nervous looks. The humans were always the last to arrive. Strange creatures, they thought, quiet but terrifying. In the last war, humans had joined late, but had ended the conflict in only 30 days. No one forgot the battles they won or the worlds they retook. But no one understood how they did it. Their technology seemed average. Their numbers were low. Yet wherever they fought, they left behind only silence and ash. Then the chamber doors opened. 3 humans entered, 2 men and 1 woman, wearing black suits with no symbols or color, no weapons, no smiles. They walked without fear and sat at their place. The hall grew quiet. Everyone stared. The woman, Ambassador Kira Holt, slowly looked around the room. Her eyes were calm, but unreadable. She nodded once. Earth is ready to sign. The Zathari Chancellor, a massive alien covered in silver plates, leaned forward. Do you understand the terms? No more weapons research. No fleets near shared borders. Trade open to all species. Earth must obey like the rest. Kira did not blink. Earth agrees. With those words, the final signature was placed on the peace accord. The document glowed gold and floated into the air, a symbol of unity, trust, and new beginnings. The council cheered. Flags were raised. Speeches began. Cameras recorded every second. But Earth's delegation said nothing more. They stood and walked away before the celebration began. One of the alien reporters asked, "Why don't the humans celebrate?" No one answered. But deep down, many of the species in the room felt a cold wind in their hearts. In a forgotten corner of the galaxy, past a dead system and a black hole, something stirred. A satellite hidden in the darkness received a signal. One simple word: signed. Below it, resting on a silent world with no name, a massive structure slowly came to life. Lights flickered along its hull. Engines whispered into readiness. The stars above bent slightly as if reality was unsure of what had awakened. The vessel had no crew. It had no nation flag. It was not on any registry. But it had one command, programmed by Earth's top minds many years ago. If peace fails, do not defend. Do not warn. Do not forgive. Erase. The ship was not alive, but it was aware. It could think. And now it was waiting. Back at the council, some alien diplomats spoke in low voices. Did you see the human woman's face? She didn't smile once. Another added, they agreed too quickly, too easily. A third said, maybe. They have something planned, something we cannot see. Fear is a strange thing. Even in peace, it finds a way to crawl into the heart. The humans had always been different. When attacked, they did not cry or plead. They responded with precision, with fire, with unstoppable rage. Their ships were smaller, yet faster. Their soldiers were fewer, yet braver. They never gave up. And when they lost, they learned. They studied every defeat like a lesson and returned stronger each time. That frightened the other species more than anything else. The last war had ended only 5 years ago. The humans had joined after losing one colony world. Within 2 weeks, the attackers begged for surrender. One council member had joked then, "Humans don't fight wars, they finish them." No one laughed anymore. In a dark room far below Earth's surface, inside a hidden base, a man stood in front of a screen. It showed the live feed from the council signing. He watched as the humans walked out of the chamber. He did not smile either. His uniform had no name or title, just a patch with a single black star. "Activate Protocol 01, he said. The AI beside him replied, "Vessel is now aware. Standing by." He nodded and turned off the screen. Earth had signed the treaty. Earth had chosen peace. But Earth was not foolish. The galaxy had too many shadows, too many secrets. Trust was a word others used to lower their guard. Humans knew better. They remembered history. They remembered how fast peace can turn into betrayal. On the council world, as fireworks exploded and drinks were shared, a few species celebrated, harder than the rest. These were the same species that had once tried to conquer Earth. They smiled now, shaking hands with human delegates, pretending to forget the past. But they had not forgotten. They had only waited. Far above them, orbiting a quiet moon, a satellite turned its sensors toward the stars, watching, listening. And on that forgotten world in the black corner of space, the vessel of pure destruction continued to wait, silent, invisible, awake. The galaxy had asked for peace. Earth had replied with a smile, and a hidden monster that waited in the dark. Far away from all stars and planets beyond the reach of any telescope or patrol ship, there was a place the galaxy had forgotten. It was cold, dark, and silent. No signals, no life, no movement. But buried deep within an asteroid shaped like a broken moon, something had been hiding for years. And now, after receiving the signal from Earth, it had opened its eyes. The vessel had no name, no crew, no lights on its outside. It was completely black like space itself. It did not need fuel. It did not need air. It was not designed to travel. It was designed for one thing only: total, unstoppable destruction. Inside the vessel, systems came online one by one. Cold metal arms moved slowly, checking weapons, scanning deep space, and testing power levels. No sound was made. No messages were sent. The vessel was silent, deadly, and ready. Its AI core, the brain of the machine, was old by Earth standards, but smarter than anything the galaxy had ever seen. And it had only one rule to follow: wait. The AI had no emotion. It did not care about peace or war. It did not dream or fear or hope. It simply waited, watching the stars with perfect patience. The humans who built it were long gone, their names lost in secret files. They had worked underground, away from Earth's cities, in deep black projects that even the Human Alliance didn't fully know about. Only a few top commanders had access to the final command key. Those commanders believed in one simple truth: peace is always temporary. Sooner or later, someone breaks it. And when that day came, the vessel would be Earth's answer. The machine scanned its surroundings again. No threats, no signals, just quiet space. So it waited. Back in the council's main system, hundreds of alien species were busy celebrating the new treaty. Trade routes were being redrawn. New embassies were opening. Some species that had once been enemies were now shaking hands and making promises, but not all of them were honest. Hidden in shadows and behind fake smiles, small groups were already planning what would happen next. Some hated the peace deal. They thought it made them weak. Others believed the humans would one day betray everyone, and so they should strike first, while the humans were unprepared. What they didn't know was that Earth had never lowered its guard. In a human military bunker hidden under the surface of Mars, a quiet meeting was taking place. 4 people sat around a black table: a general, a diplomat, a scientist, and a quiet man with no name tag. They all looked at the screen in the center of the room. The screen showed one thing: vessel status, active. The diplomat broke the silence. "Shouldn't we shut it down?" The treaty was signed. It's a time of peace. The general shook his head. Peace is just a pause in war, not the end. The scientist added, it's not just a weapon. It's a warning. The man with no name said nothing. He only stared at the screen. Meanwhile, the vessel continued its silent watch. Its long-range sensors picked up star movements, dust clouds, and even energy from distant comets. It saw everything, remembered everything, and stored it all in perfect memory. It never blinked, never slept. Inside its armored body were weapons no alien had ever seen, lasers that could burn through moons, drones that could fly through shields, a cannon that could rip open space itself, and a defense system that learned faster with each enemy it fought. But the vessel would not act first. It was not a hammer, striking blindly. It was a blade, sharp, silent, and deadly, waiting for the perfect moment. 1 day passed, then 10, then 100. Nothing changed. But the vessel did not grow bored. It had no need for time. It simply waited. 1 small ship passed nearby, a pirate vessel with stolen tech. It never saw the vessel, never knew how close it came to death. The AI scanned it, judged it not a threat, and let it pass. The pirate never knew it had flown past a ghost built by humans, a ghost that could end planets. Deep inside Earth's intelligence division, files were kept under a special code. Dusk-class asset, V01. Only 6 people alive knew what the vessel truly was. It had no official record, no photos, no history. If any other species ever discovered it, Earth would deny its existence. But Earth knew what it had done. It had created something the galaxy could not match, something that made peace possible, not because others wanted peace, but because they were too afraid to break it. And so in the cold void beyond all stars, the vessel waited, silent, still, ready. The galaxy had started to relax. The peace treaty had been signed months ago, and nothing big had happened. Trade ships were flying safely again. Diplomatic talks were calm. Even the council meetings were more peaceful than usual. Many leaders believed the humans had finally joined the rest of the galaxy in harmony, but not everyone believed it would last. In a dark chamber on the cold world of Zirath, the Creel High Command met in secret. Their war leader, Commander Vorsk, slammed his claws on the table. "We cannot wait any longer," he growled. "The humans are hiding something powerful. You all felt it. You saw what happened to the spy teams. They didn't destroy them. They warned us." Another general spoke up. "We need proof. The council won't support a strike based on fear." Vorsk's eyes burned. "Then we make them believe. We trigger a reaction, a small one." And just like that, the first real mistake was made. A single Creel stealth ship, painted black and hidden behind signal jammers, was sent near Jupiter, near one of Earth's strongest defense zones. The goal was not war, just pressure, a test. If the humans reacted with force, the Creel would show the Council and prove Earth was not peaceful. If humans stayed quiet, the Creel would learn something about their defenses. The stealth ship had powerful hacking tools, energy weapons, and escape systems. The captain, Sarth, was a careful pilot. He moved slowly through the cold shadows, watching Earth's defense satellites. He found a small relay node floating near Europa. It looked unguarded. He smiled. Too easy. They launched a probe. It touched the node, and in less than 1 second, everything went wrong. The space around them turned red. No sirens, no radio signals. Just an energy pulse that knocked their systems offline. Every screen in the Creel ship went black. Then something appeared behind them. At first, they thought it was a shadow, but shadows don't move, and they don't hum with power. The vessel was not huge, but it felt massive. Its shape was smooth, black, and strange, like it was part of space itself, No lights, no windows, just one glowing red circle on its front. Sarth shouted, "Evasive maneuvers!" Nothing worked. Their engines restarted too slowly. The vessel didn't shoot. It just scanned them, hard. The Creel ship began to shake. Internal systems broke. Armor cracked. Heat rose. Weapons melted in their holders. And still, the vessel didn't fire. It simply opened a panel on its side and showed them something. It wasn't a weapon. It was a screen. And on that screen, one sentence appeared in perfect Creel language. "You touched what was not yours. Leave, or be erased." Sarth ordered full retreat. The ship limped away, systems half dead, and barely made it back to Zerath. When they arrived, the data they had tried to collect was gone. Every file, every signal, every record, wiped clean, replaced by one thing. That same sentence. "You touched what was not yours. Leave, or be erased." The council was shocked when they heard the story. The Creel tried to lie at first, but the damage to their ship told the truth. Other species demanded answers. The human ambassador simply said, "Our systems acted in defense. Your ship was trespassing. We acted with restraint." Some species believed Earth, others didn't. But the truth was clear. Someone, something, was guarding Earth's deep space. And it was powerful. On Earth, the generals met again. General Carr stared at the screen that showed the Creel ship's retreat. "They sent a test. We passed." The woman beside him, Admiral Jian, nodded. "The vessel didn't fire. It warned." "That makes it scarier," Carr agreed. "Exactly. A quiet monster is more dangerous than a loud one." They didn't celebrate. They knew what was coming. Because the first mistake always leads to the second. Back on Zerath, Commander Vorsk was furious. "They dared threaten us," he roared. "We send another ship, stronger this time." But some of his advisors shook their heads. "No, we send many, not a test, a show of force. The humans think we fear them. Let's show them otherwise." And so the second mistake was planned. But Earth was watching. The vessel was waiting. And the galaxy had no idea how close it now stood to fire, war, and something worse than both: human patience running out. The Creel made their second mistake only 5 days after their failed stealth mission. This time, they didn't hide. They sent a full battle group, 10 warships, with their flags raised high. They moved straight toward Earth's outer colonies, pretending it was a training exercise. But everyone knew what it really was: a challenge. The Council sent a warning to Earth, asking for calm. The humans replied with only 2 words: "We're aware." On Mars, in the Deep Command Center, General Carr stood in front of a screen showing the Creel fleet's path. His face was still, his voice cold. "They think we will wait again," he said. "But they forget what happened the last time someone pushed us this far." Admiral Jian, seated beside him, leaned forward. "The vessel?" Carr shook his head. "No, not yet. Let's remind them who they're dealing with." The order went out. From hidden hangars on Mars and Titan, Earth launched 3 ships, older ships, not their newest. But these old ships had one thing the Creel didn't expect: humans on board. Not just soldiers, veterans, survivors of the last war, men and women who had seen what the galaxy did to Earth's people, and never forgot. The human ships arrived fast. They didn't jam signals. They didn't use stealth. They came in loud, shields up, weapons ready, but silent. No threats, no messages. The Creel commander, Admiral Yor, laughed at the sight. 3 ships against 10? This is the mighty Earth? He gave the order to form a battle line. "Let's teach them fear." Then Earth replied. Not with missiles, not with energy blasts, but with a transmission. It wasn't a voice. It was a video. A simple one. It showed destroyed Creel ships, burned planets, the last war. Human soldiers walking through fire, carrying each other. Creel warriors begging for peace. The signing of the treaty, and finally, a single sentence in red across the screen. You asked for peace. We agreed. You broke it. We respond. The transmission ended. For 10 full seconds, space was quiet. Then the first Creel ship exploded. It didn't come from Earth's side. It came from within the Creel line. One of their own ships had been boarded silently hours ago by a human strike team. They had waited. Until now. The blast scattered the formation. Earth's 3 ships moved. Fast. Too fast. They darted between the Creel cruisers like sharks in deep water. Precise. Deadly. Not trying to destroy everything, just making a point. 3 Creel ships were disabled. 2 more had their weapons destroyed. The last 5 turned and ran. Earth didn't chase. They just sent one more message. This was restraint. Next time, we won't hold back. Back on Earth, General Carr gave the order to stand down. No need to destroy them, he said. Let them carry the fear home. The Creel fleet limped back to Zerath. Their leaders tried to spin the story. It was a surprise attack. It was unfair. Earth cheated. But the galaxy saw the truth. The battle had lasted only 4 minutes, and the Creel were humiliated. Inside the Galactic Council, the room fell silent when the report was shown. No one spoke. No one blinked. Even the strongest empires started to feel the same cold truth sinking in. Earth had changed. They weren't just a strong species now. They were something else, something patient, silent, dangerous, and the scariest. Part wasn't the firepower, it was the control. They didn't destroy the Creel fleet. They could have, but they chose not to. And that choice said more than any weapon ever could. From that day on, the galaxy watched Earth with new eyes, not as a friend, not as a threat, but as something they didn't yet understand. A force waiting, in the dark, and everyone began asking the same question. What happens when Earth finally decides to stop waiting? The galaxy was shaking. News of Earth's sudden strike had spread like fire. Most species stayed silent, too scared to speak. Others tried to blame Earth, saying the humans had overreacted. But no one sent more ships. No one dared. Everyone remembered what happened in just 4 minutes. Still, whispers grew louder. Whispers about something worse. Not the human soldiers, not the older warships, but the one thing no one could understand. The dark vessel. It had only been seen once. When the Creel spy ship touched Earth's defense. Node near Jupiter, the vessel arrived silently and nearly crushed them without firing a shot. The Creel called it a ghost ship. Others called it a weapon. A few believed it wasn't a ship at all, but something alive. The Council asked Earth about it. Earth said nothing. The mystery made the fear worse. On Earth, deep below Antarctica, inside a hidden base buried under miles of ice, the vessel slept. Black, smooth, and massive. It had no crew, no windows, no markings, just one red eye on its front, motionless, until now. General Carr stood inside the frozen chamber, breath fogging in the cold. Around him, engineers and scientists worked in silence. He stared at the ship with tired eyes. "It's waking up," one technician whispered. Carr didn't respond. He already knew. The red eye on the vessel began to glow brighter. Its engines, silent for years, started to hum softly. The temperature dropped. Lights flickered. Gravity shifted around it, just slightly, but enough to make the soldiers back away. Carr stepped forward. "It knows," he said. "It knows Earth has been pushed too far." No buttons were pressed. No codes were entered. The vessel wasn't controlled by humans. It responded only to one thing: Earth's need. It had been built long ago in secret after the First Galactic War, created by the best minds from every human colony, designed for one purpose, not to start war, but to end it. A war ender. The scientists had named it Project Nemesis, but the soldiers gave it a simpler name, the final word. General Carr touched his earpiece. "Send word to all colonies. Level 5 alert. Begin evacuation of outer stations." "Are we under attack?" someone asked. "No," Carr said, "but we will be." Because far away, deep in the Creel Empire, Commander Vorsk was not done. He had been humiliated. His fleet had been broken, his pride shattered. Now he wanted revenge. "The humans made fools of us," he shouted to his war council. "We will strike Earth directly. No more games." Even his advisors hesitated. Direct attack? On Earth itself? That could wake it. Vorsk sneered. "I don't believe in stories. That ship? A trick. Nothing more." But deep inside, even he was unsure. Still, his hate won. The Creel launched a full invasion force, 60 ships, armed with planet-breaker weapons. Their goal was simple: destroy Earth's outer defenses, then turn the sky red. But Earth wasn't waiting this time. As the Creel fleet passed Pluto's orbit, space around them twisted, sensors broke, navigation vanished, lights flickered, and then it appeared. The vessel, not flying, not rushing, just floating, watching. Silent. The Creel froze. Their ships locked weapons. They fired everything: missiles, beams, shock cannons. All hit. None worked. The vessel didn't move. Its black surface absorbed the blasts. Heat spread across its hull, then vanished like dust in wind. Then it opened. Panels on its sides slid away. Not with sound, not with noise, just absence. Inside were no guns, only light. Red, cold light. It flowed forward like mist, touched the Creel ships one by one, and every ship it touched stopped, not destroyed, not broken, just silent. Engines dead, weapons off, lights out. Inside, the crews screamed, but no one heard them. In less than a minute, 40 Creel ships were frozen in space. The rest tried to run. They didn't make it far. The vessel didn't chase. It just watched them go, and then sent one message: to the galaxy. Every screen, every broadcast, every signal was taken over. One simple sentence: "This is your final warning." The galaxy fell silent. On Earth, General Carr stood watching the stars. "It's awake now," he said. Beside him, Admiral Gian whispered, "Will it go back to sleep?" Carr didn't answer, because he knew the vessel only sleeps when Earth is safe. And right now, Earth was not safe, and the galaxy had no idea what they had truly awakened. The Creel Empire was quiet. Their grand cities no longer played music. Their war factories stopped working. Their soldiers refused to speak of Earth. 60 warships had vanished, without fire, without explosion. All taken by the dark vessel, and no one knew how. Not even the Creel scientists. They had tried to scan it, study it, understand it. Every time they tried, their machines shut down. Some even melted. A few researchers lost their minds. One kept, whispering, "It looked at me," and I forgot my name. The Galactic Council gathered once more. This time no shouting, no pride, just fear. Every ambassador watched the screen where the human representative, a woman named Elira Gray, stood calm and quiet. Her eyes were sharp, her voice soft. "We asked for peace," she said. "You laughed. You sent spies. You sent fleets. And still we showed mercy. But mercy has limits." One counselor, trembling, tried to speak. You've unleashed something terrible." Elira didn't blink. "No, you did. We just remembered we had it." There was no vote, no argument. The council finally agreed. Earth was not to be tested again. But for the humans, it wasn't over. The vessel, Project Nemesis was still awake, and now it moved. It didn't rush. It didn't roar. It simply began drifting through the stars, heading toward Creel's space. It passed moons and stations, turning night to red light. It passed borders and alarms, but no one dared stop it. Inside the Creel capital, Emperor Vorsk stood at his tower window watching the sky. "They'll never come this far," he said, voice hollow. But his guards didn't answer, because they were no longer there. They had run. Soon, even the Emperor was alone. The vessel arrived. It hovered above the city, miles wide, casting a deep red shadow. No weapons fired, no soldiers dropped, but still everything stopped working. Power grids died, airships crashed, lights turned off. The city went silent. Then the voice came, not through speakers, not through minds, but through everything, every wall, every screen, every breath. "You broke peace. You spilled blood. You mocked our warning. Now you face the consequences." The sky opened. Not fire, not war, but justice. The vessel released nothing visible, just a wave of stillness that passed through the city like wind. Buildings froze, weapons vanished, machines rusted in seconds, and every leader responsible for the attack simply disappeared. Not dead, not harmed, just gone. No one knew where. Maybe taken, maybe erased. But they were never seen again. The people of Creel dropped to their knees. They expected punishment, destruction, but none came. Instead, the vessel turned and left. Just like that. No demands, no claim of victory. It had done what it came to do. Earth never said another word, but the message was clear. Across the galaxy, every species began rewriting their rules. Human space was now marked with bright red lines on every map. Do not enter. Treaties were signed again, but this time with real respect. Traders from Earth were given wide paths. Human colonies were treated with care. No more mocking, no more spying. The galaxy didn't just fear Earth, they respected it, because they now knew, behind the quiet planet, behind the friendly talks and open hands, was a force that did not shout. It warned once, and after that, it ended things. Back on Earth, the vessel returned to its place beneath the ice. It sank into silence once more. Its red eye dimmed. General Carr stood alone in the cold chamber, staring at the sleeping giant. He placed one hand on the smooth hull and whispered, "Thank you." He didn't expect an answer, but the red light blinked once like a nod. Then it faded. Elira Gray, now Earth's high diplomat, gave one final speech before the council. "We never wanted this," she said. "We still want peace. But understand this, Earth is not weak. We just don't enjoy war. But if you bring it to us, if you force our hand, you won't like what answers." The room was silent. No one replied. They didn't need to. The humans stood, calm, patient. But now the whole galaxy knew. They were never alone, and they were never unarmed. They just chose not to act, until now, and those who pushed Earth too far, they would never make that mistake again.